Good morning, class. How's everybody doing?
Doing good. How about you?
You guys have a good weekend?
Yeah.
Yep.
Right on. So I want you to take some time right now and take out your binders. We're going to be taking some notes on the elements of plot. So what I want you to do right now is to get together with your partners, whoever's sitting next to you, and I want you to go over one of your favorite movies from your past and kind of go from start to finish, and I'll meet back with you in a couple minutes.
So, my favorite movie. So the movie I picked is The Martian. It's about two guys. They're gonna be the first mission to Mars. They go up in a spaceship. They land on Mars, and then
You seen the other ones, first two?
so they're doing their thing up there,
He came out of
and one dude dies,
and then
and so
this bang
the other
guy
guy
comes
has
out
to
and
survive on
starts
his
being
own
a
up in
supervillain.
Mars. And so
And
he
starting that movie, he's gonna
he majored in like
I'm done
this
with that.
plant science. I don't really know.
like,
So he knows how to like make plants and
and
stuff.
then
So he's on his own. He's got to find a way to make food and stuff. And inside the spaceship, he knows how to. He has
Bane
like
prison.
potatoes and stuff.
Only one
And he
person
runs
got
out of
saved.
food, so he has to make potatoes in
Not
order to
Bane.
live, and he knows that.
Not Bane.
Potato, he can live
Not
on
Bane.
potatoes for as long as he
Very
needs
small.
until a rescue comes. So he makes these potatoes, and he lives long enough up there for people on Earth
I don't even know her name.
to send up a new spaceship to come rescue him and bring him back down.
Okay.
So that's basically the storyline behind that. And basically he just has to live on his own for a certain amount of days until he's rescued and comes back down to Earth.
Okay, and then mine was Mr. Warren.
Got shot in the face.
Are we talking? So after he talks about his,
Yeah, share yours. Share yours.
So mine was Star Wars, and it starts with there's this girl and she's a princess, and her ship's getting taken over, so she sends a message to gets the robot. Robot goes, and then there's this like guy who lives on this like deserted planet, and then he gets the message, and then he meets another guy who's like a Jedi, and then they take a ship with another couple guys, and they go,
Big wheel guy. Big wheel guy.
and so they go to save the princess, but then there's a bad guy, Darth Vader, who is the main bad guy in the galaxy, and so he's trying to hunt down the robot, and
So it starts out with
so it's pretty much just the story of these group of 4 people and they have to save the galaxy because Darth Vader's trying to kill everyone with the Death Star. It's part of his life, the planets, and yeah, so that's the story plot of Star Wars.
Isn't there like how many episodes?
There is now
So 8.
basically after the 2 new ones that just came out, and then there's another one coming out in.
You guys getting pretty close to the end?
So, yeah.
We're
done. Yeah.
We're ready. We're ready.
Okay. Okay, now you guys have talked about your favorite movies. I'm going to go into the 5 elements of plot, beginning with exposition. Does anybody have an idea about what exposition might be? Carter?
Is it like the beginning of the movie?
Yeah, so basically it kind of brings in the characters, brings in the setting, kind of sets a tone for the entire movie. Next is the rising action. Anybody want to take a guess at that? Zach?
When the movie starts, like they're starting to get a lot more interesting.
Yeah, I guess that works. This is kind of like the series of events that kind of builds from the conflict that is arising in the movie.
Builds from or builds to?
It builds to. It builds to the next one, which is called the climax, from the conflicts. Anybody want to take a guess at what the next one is?
Climax.
Thank you. And that, Corby, what is that?
That is a high point.
There you go. So the climax is the high point of the story and is the most emotional part of the story and piques the most interest for the audience, yes?
What was that last word to say on rising action?
Conflict. So again, the climax is a high point for the audience's emotions and interest. The fourth one here is the falling action. Any guesses?
Right after the climax, the movie starts to take a little turn for the worse.
I don't know about
It's
10
like-
for the worst. It couldn't. Go ahead.
Like so, like movies like kind of ending now and stuff's kind of getting resolved.
Question we're getting answered.
Yeah.
Right, so this is the event after the climax, which basically kind of closes the story together. And lastly, we have the resolution. Ben, do you want to go ahead and take a stab at this one?
I'd say
Very generic.
the movie ends.
Basically, it rounds out and concludes the action.
So is this where like all the answers, or like all the questions are answered from the beginning of the movie?
Yes, in most movies that is what happens. Some leave you wondering, which leads to another series of movies. Everybody got that down? Everybody got that down?
Yeah.
So now I want you to get back in your groups and I want you to kind of tie all 5 elements into your movie that you described with your partner. And once you're done with that, I want you to make a short story with your partner. Okay?
Short story as a summary.
Kind of like
Like a
not-
creative, like
we
create
make
your
yes,
own
you,
story.
you
make
create
our
your
own
own.
story.
You create your own.
Okay.
I'll give you a few minutes and I'll get back to you.
I'll go first. Okay, so element of the plot for Star Wars is exposition is like when they're showing Princess Leia, Luke Skywalker, and just kind of introducing all the characters when we go to Luke's cool planet. Rising action is when they leave the
his character,
Oh,
how
sorry.
he grew up,
is when they leave the
how he lived, middle class.
planet
Rising
with everyone
action
in the Millennium Falcon.
be
So they're leaving, then they
when
start
they
going
start
on adventures,
getting
they
into
meet
the
Darth
shadow
Vader, all that.
start getting,
Climax is when
a little bit of help.
Luke
Yeah,
gets onto the they all get into the ships, they have to go blow up the Death Star to save everyone. So that would be the climax, that's like the main point. Falling action, they blow it up, everyone's getting kind of happy,
coming into his house
and then
and raiding it.
resolution is the end when they're celebrating that the Death Star got blown.
Wow.
They go to jail once.
Him on house arrest, I'm pretty
That's,
sure it was an
good.
ankle.
Oh yeah.
So
The
for
resolution
The Martian,
would be
the exposition, excuse me, would be when they're planning the space shuttle to Mars, and
oh, it's when
you know you got like the NASA headquarters and whatever, and then they get into the ship, and it's going up towards Mars.
ends up with him.
The rising action would probably be when they land on Mars, they set up camp. The 2
Kind of like an
astronauts are just living their life
Oh,
on
but
Mars.
like the alcohol anonymous, like
The
the
climax
group
would be
circle
Yeah.
probably
No,
when
not a group circle, but it's a,
the,
like a big lecture
the
hall.
inside of the
So he's-
spaceship like
Oh,
explodes.
Kind of like
Okay, and then he loses all of his
But he comes up and he,
No,
like,
no,
his,
no.
kinda, I don't know, there's like a
His
specific
like
name.
partner,
And he comes up
his
and
partner
asks him,
like
Oh,
died.
okay,
so
sorry.
it was just him up there.
Okay.
And So then probably the following action would be that he got into his like mobile thing, and he had to drive like a certain amount to go to the other ship that he was going to be on to go back home to Earth that he was going to be saved from. And then the resolution would be him getting into the spaceship and landing back on Earth.
And then Ryan.
You guys are getting pretty close?
Yeah.
We are done. We're
yeah.
done. Everybody done?
Yeah, we're done.
Okay, so when you create your story, I would like you to take that home after class, and I would like you to take these 5 elements of plot and connect it all, make a graph where it's going up and down and whatnot, the climax, and bring it back to class for tomorrow. Okay?
Okay.
Alright, thank you guys.
Welcome.